All right. Hi, guys. Good morning. My name's Perla. I am a double gold consultant. We're going to be going over how to create a Google form. And in this training, we're going to go specifically for your clients, right? So this is just a way for you to qualify your clients. You can qualify your clients in several different ways. You can do it over the phone. You can do it in person. You can use a form. And so this is just one way that I qualify my clients because I do qualify clients using all of the above, right? So I don't necessarily rely on my form all the time. I have it as a guide. And sometimes, I'll get a phone call from a client that finds me on Google or something, and I'm not going to hang up the phone with them and say, okay, here's fill out my form. Rather, I'm going to go through the form with them on the phone and I will fill things in for them. And that way, then it gives me everything organized in terms of their travel preferences rather than writing it down on a piece of paper and then potentially losing it. Okay. So obviously for a Google form, you're going to need a Google account, right? A Gmail. And you can see here, let me actually get rid of this because I think this was the one we will create a new one. Okay. I have two different forms for clients. I have a plan your next vacation with us form, which that's the qualifying form, right? That's the form that's going to have all of the questions that I need answered to get started on their travel research. And then there's a traveler feedback form, which this one is a new one for me. I just started with this about a month ago, where once my clients return from their travels, I will then send them this form on here and I'll show you what this looks like. It has then all of my links to write reviews. So for Google Business, Travel Leaders Network, Facebook, and it's just going to ask them for feedback on their experience, right? Feedback on their accommodations, feedback on their, their flight or their car rental experience, customer service, right? Because what's that going to do? That's going to tell me, okay, did they have a good experience with budget car rental? If they didn't, okay, then maybe I shouldn't recommend budget car rental in Orlando, Florida to my next clients. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives me like an inside look into their traveling experience and then allows me to really tailor that and make sure that my future clients have a better experience. Okay. And then obviously I then have a section there where I have them write like a little feedback or a little note or something on their experience with me. And if they would recommend me to anyone, submit any photos. So it really allows me to then kind of take that information and then now I can use this and post it on my social media, right? Obviously with their permission. I can take their photos and post it. I can take their little testimonial and make it into like a nice little like flyer type thing, right? And post it. And now I have I have credibility behind my services behind my name. Okay. So I'm going to show you both forms, okay? Both of them, you're going to create them the same exact way. It's just the setup, okay? So let me show you first my plan your next vacation with us. So this is what it looks like, okay, when I pull it up because obviously I'm the creator. So it's going to look like this in terms of I need to edit it, right? These are all of my responses. I'm not going to click them only because it's going to show, all of my clients' information. But maybe once I stop recording, then I can show you guys what that looks like. But it organizes it nice, very, sorry, hold on, my phone. All right. It organizes it very nicely for you. So if I just hit preview, this is what it looks like to clients and to everybody that views this form, okay? Whether they have the link or if they're going to it from my website or if they're going to it from social media or wherever, okay? So a little snippet, little paragraph on what they can expect once I receive their response. They can expect some sort of form of contact within 48 to 72 hours. Here's all the information that it's asking for them, right? So these are all qualifying questions, right? So email, name, phone number, What do I want them to, what do they want me to quote? What are they looking for? Okay. And you see these have asterisks, right? So there's certain things on here that are required. I need them to fill this out, right? Because otherwise I'm not going to know what they need for their trip. Okay. Number of travelers. So that's total number of travelers. Now we're splitting it up into adults and children, and then splitting it up even further into ages of those children at the time of travel. This is important, of course, as you guys know, for those that book lots of travel. It's important to know the ages of the child at the time of travel because that's going to determine their price, right? If it's an infant versus a 7-year-old, right? In terms of flight tickets, or sometimes with resorts, the resorts will charge a 12-year-old the same price as an adult versus a 5-year-old. They will be a child rate, right? So that's important to know. So that way you can get them a very, very accurate quote. Number of hotel rooms or bedrooms needed, types of accommodations, right? So what kind of experience are they looking for? Reason for travel. I ask this because I really want to tailor my services to them, right? So that way I can reach out to the resort and I can say, hey, Sally and Bob are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. I want to do this, or can we get like an amenity added on for them, or, those things. Really personalizing the service, because they would not be able to get this elsewhere if they booked through Expedia or Travelocity or Priceline, right? Destinations. Departure information, so city, state, and airport. If they don't need a flight, then NA, but I still have this required because people will skip over things that are not required, right? People don't know exactly, when you're talking to them, all the information that's really needed when you are having someone do the research for you, right? They kind of give you all this information chopped up, right? So this is just allowing them to kind of organize their thoughts and really think about what they're looking for. Departure dates, return dates, if there's any flexibility on those dates. And I put this so that way I can check, right, if there's a better price point, right? Because if there's flexibility, that allows me a little bit of freedom here to see, can I potentially save them a little bit of money? If not, then okay, we are stuck with those travel dates. They're just going to have to deal with the pricing as it is, right? If they answered yes to above, what are those alternative date range, and then number of nights. Desired budget per person. I have this because I really want to know, what are they expecting to spend here per person. Now, sometimes I will say I have some crazy numbers put in here where people are like, oh yeah, $200 per person for an all-inclusive 7-night stay with flights, hotels, and transfers, right? And that's obviously very unrealistic. But sometimes this opens up a conversation, right? So depending on whatever number they put here, what I do is I then ask them like, oh, okay, so you're looking to spend this much per person. Or I'll say like, oh, I see you listed $200 per person. That's not very realistic number here for what it is that you're looking for. And then that opens a conversation, right? A lot of times I notice that clients will be like, oh no, actually, I just didn't know what to put there. So I just put a random number. Or it opens a conversation where they say, you know what, actually thinking about this, that is what my budget is. Okay, if that's the case, then we're going to have to change the type of travel, right? If that really is your budget, then let's look into maybe changing what you want to do to try to best fit that budget. Okay. Car rental, travel insurance. I always have this, right? This is a required question because I am a big advocate for travel insurance. A lot of clients will have a huge misconception on travel insurance because they feel like, oh, well, I'm going to go on this trip no matter what. And it's like, okay, Bob, yeah, you are going to go on this trip no matter what. But what if you get into a bad car accident and both of your legs are broken and you need surgery, right? So you're thinking to the extreme, right? But Bob is thinking like, I'm not canceling this trip. I'm going no matter what. And yes, that's true. However, having that conversation with clients and letting them know that travel protection, for the most part, depending on where you're booking, which vendor you're using, and the type of policy that's offered, will cover you prior to travel, right? So in the event of any type of cancellation, injury, disease, diagnosis, or something like that, while you're traveling, right? So Bob is going to go on this trip. Can you guys Can you guys still see my screen and hear me? I just want to make sure. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I got a little notification that my connection was off. So I just want to make sure. Okay. So the travel protection insurance is also going to protect Bob while he's traveling, right? So what happens if while he's in Dominican Republic, he goes on an excursion and cracks his head open and needs surgery, right? So that's also going to cover during travel. Which some clients don't understand that, right? They just think that it's going to cover them in the event that they decide to cancel. So this really opens up a conversation as well. And it's not that getting travel insurance, it's not like it's putting more money in my pocket. No, it's just, I'm just trying to protect their investment, right? Because a lot of the trips that we plan for clients, they are several $1,000s, right? And if they decide to decline it, then at least you know, okay, I had that conversation with them. They are aware of what they're risking and that they cannot get upset with you in the event that something happens out of the blue, that they are not able to make this trip, or they have unexpected costs during travel, right? So it's just more so covering your butt. Transfers from the airport. And then I have a little section here to include anything special or extra, right? Something that maybe I just didn't address above. So this would be an opportunity for them to include if they have a specific cruise ship preference, if they have a specific hotel or resort choice. So maybe if they're like a Marriott member or a Hilton Rewards member, right? Or they have Delta miles, or they're a United, you know what I mean? So this really allows them to kind of put what they're specifically looking for. If they were referred, who may we thank? And then I just have a little snippet here, okay, on what to expect, what my expectations are, what their expectations of me should be, right? And then that's it, right? Then they have an opportunity to send themselves a copy of their responses, okay? So I personally have this form. I will show you guys. I have this form everywhere. So I have it on my Linktree. Okay. Now this is obviously I'm logging in like I'm editing my account, but this is my actually let me go. Give me 1 second. Let me do this. Okay, here's my Linktree rather than logging into my account. So I have it on my Linktree, right? So this link, this is like a nice little landing page for my business, right? I'm highlighting my Cyber Monday deal, but then here, plan your next vacation with us. So the very next link is going to be my travel form. Okay, now I have it on my website. So if I want to go to Book Now, oh wait, not Book Now, sorry. I think under services. I changed my website recently. Hold on. Contact us. It's under contact us. Okay. So under contact us and then Book Now, it's going to take them to my form. Okay. Then I also have it on my Facebook. I have it pinned on the top. Oh no, sorry. On my business page. Let me go. Okay, so I have it pinned on the top. So right here, looking to book a vacation, click the link below, fill out the form, and we'll get back to you. So they click this and it takes them here. Okay, now this link that's here, I can show you guys this too. I created this with tinyURL. So rather than like, for example, if I go to my form and I want to share this, if I hit send, and here's the link, this is this huge long link, right? And if I want to shorten it, at least it shortens it. But then if I'm typing it into Google, I mean, I'm not Google, sorry, Facebook, it's going to look like this, like these like little, this weird URL, right? I don't want this weird URL on my Facebook. I wanted to add a nice traveling photo and I wanted it to be like a link that is very clear on what it is, right? So that's why I went to tinyURL, because you're able to then customize your URL, and I titled it Dandelion Travels Vacation Quote. So when they click this, they know, okay, they're going to get directed to somewhere to fill out a form, right? So that's where I have it. So I have it on all platforms. I also have it on my Instagram. My Instagram link will take them to my link tree, which then will bring them here, right? So I really have it on all platforms, on all areas. So that way it's very easily accessible for people. So I can certainly send this to someone, of course, but making it easily accessible on all platforms, obviously there's more of a benefit there. Okay. So let me quickly show you then my traveler request form, and then I'll show you then how to then just make a form. And that way, you guys can then take it and really personalize it and make it your own. Okay. So this is my traveler feedback form. And like I said, I have just started using this like a month ago. And I wanted to create this that way I could really get like some feedback from clients. Rather than just asking them to send me a review, right? Clients will write a review, right? But I really wanted to know their feedback and their experience in their travel accommodations, their transfers, their all those things, right? So like I said, here are my links for them to review me on Google, Travel Leaders Network, Facebook. Okay. And then here's the information. So this is going to be a different type of form. I'm not necessarily adding all this extra info like the traveler, like the vacation request form, but just some general information on what their travel dates were, their cruise name, resort name, vacation rental, and then just having them rate, right? Now you see some of these things are not with asterisks because every client is going to have a different type of trip, right? I wasn't going to create a separate form for each type of trip, a cruise, a all-inclusive flight, vacation rental. So rather than creating all these different forms, I just created one form, and I'm having them fill out things that are applicable to their stay. Okay. So all of the ratings are going to be optional, right? For where they went to: entertainment, food, customer service. How likely would you return to this place? How was the car rental experience, car rental customer service? And then here, this is required, right? How likely would you book another vacation with us or refer us? And then a short testimonial of the vacation experience, any photos, and then just getting their permission to use their photos or their testimonial for marketing. Any additional comments. And then I have here this last little thing: gratuities are appreciated. If they want to add any tips, they can, and this will direct them over to my Square. And that's it, right? So that really just kind of gives me a nice little inside look to their experience. Okay. All right, so let me go back here and I'll show you how to create a form. Now, when you go to Google Forms, you'll have a template to choose from. You can choose any one of these templates. If you feel like maybe, I don't know, one of these would maybe apply to you, you can. I personally just created blank from scratch. Okay, so I did from blank, and now it's going to look like this. Okay, we are editing this form. So now we're going to title this form just to kind of show you very quickly how to do this. We're just going to title it, I'm going to title it Travel Request Form. Okay. Now, here's a form description, right? What are you going to title this form? So just for the sake of the training, I'm just going to copy my current description and paste it here. Now I can make this bold. I can italicize it. I can do points, bullets, numbers, whatever. You can really personalize this and make this your own. Then here for email. So this form is collecting emails, meaning, for example, I clicked this form. So this is the settings that I currently have on my form. When I click this form, I'm currently logged into my Gmail account. So it's going to automatically link my Gmail account to this form. Okay. I can switch my account and switch it to another Gmail if I don't want it to be submitted using this email address. So you can have that same setting. If you want to take that off, you can change the settings and go to responses, and then you can do not collect. Okay. You could do that. Oh, it took me out. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. So now we're going to go into the questions, right? So you see how it automatically defaults to multiple choice, okay? But when we type in, hope it doesn't, yeah. Okay, if we type in full name, it changes to short answer. So Google Forms is smart that depending on whatever you're putting in this text box, it's going to change the type of question, the type of answer setting that you have here to fit this. Okay, so full name, we don't want multiple choice, we want a short answer. We want them to be able to type out their full name. Okay, so now if we want to do another question, we're just going to hit the plus, add question, and it's going to go directly underneath full name. So let's say we select what would you like us to quote? Select all that, apply. Okay. Now see checkboxes. Now it's going to automatically go to checkboxes. And now you can then add multiple, right? You can do flight only. Now we're going to another one. Now we're going to do hotel only. All inclusive. Villa, right? So now you can add all these different options and it's going to customize this, right? You can even add photos. If you wanted to add a photo, you can insert a photo. I don't know that, oh geez, these are all my kids' photos. So let's not do that. But you can do, like, let's say if I want to hit browse and I'm just going to put in this photo. Okay. I can upload this. And now it has a photo before the responses. Okay. If you wanted to, right? Of course, you can make this and personalize this into your own. Okay. Let's say you put down here email. Okay. It changes it to short answer, but you're like, oh, I didn't want email down here. I wanted email directly underneath full name. Okay. Now you can change it. You just hover over this little 6 dots here, and now we're moving it up. Okay. Let's say you wanted email first, and we're going to put that there. Okay. This is the little menu like the little menu that's going to just keep scrolling down and following your cursor as you keep scrolling down the page. Okay. You can then import questions if you have questions from somewhere else. You can then add a title and description. So this is going to be basically another one of these. Okay. Title and description is going to be another one of these. Add an image. So now you can add images in between each question, add a video, add a section. Okay. So let's say you wanted to do just like a free text. So like, for example, like how I have all the way down here, let's say you wanted to add something similar to this. Okay. This is literally just a free text. I'm not, asking any questions or anything like that. So essentially you would literally just do add question and you would just type it in here. Okay. You're just going to type whatever it is that you're including in here. And then that's it. You'll just leave it as a multiple choice option. Okay. When you are creating each question, it's automatically going to default to it being a required question. Okay. So you'll have to actually click this to not make it required. Okay. You can duplicate questions. So if you know you're going to have several multiple choice questions, you can duplicate them just to make it easier for you to save yourself time, and then you can edit their responses. Okay. Now let's say you want to personalize this form, right? So let's say we finish this form and you're like, okay, well, I really want to put my name on there, like kind of how I have here. I have, like a cover photo. It has my business name on here. So what you'll do is you'll go here to customize theme. And now This is where you're then able to customize the entire form. You can change the text style. So all of the headers can be, let's say you want to make them Oswald and you want it to be like this. And then the questions will then actually be Playfair display. And then the actual text that they write will be Oswald again, right? Or this text will be Oswald as well, okay? Header, this is where you can add that photo to have at the very top. Google Photos will have headers already like pre-made that you can use. They do have a travel one, which I thought they had it, unless they had one last week where it was like a travel. So they must have updated. Google Forms must have updated because they did have a travel theme. And it had only 3 options. But it was something that you could, add for the meantime. You can upload. So for example, let's say I just want to use that same photo I just tried uploading. And then that way that's that main header photo. Okay. It's going to have me crop. If it will, I don't know if it'll take the photo. Let's see. Okay, there we go. You can crop and drag to see what, which part of the photo you want displayed. Now, it's going to customize the colors of the form based on the colors of the photo. So you see how now the colors changed. I didn't have a photo or a header listed, and I was able to choose all these different colors. And now that I updated a header and put a photo there, now it's going to have complementing colors. Okay. So now I can make it blue, brown, a maroon color, right? In terms of like these colors here. And then I could also change the background, right? The background color. So all of these colors are going to complement the header here. So if you have, like for example, my header, right? I created this on Canva. I just created like a Facebook cover photo because that's what I have as my cover photo on Facebook. And I just edited it to just display my business name, but it gave me colors to choose from that complement my cover photo or my header. Okay. So that's really it with theme. It's very straightforward. Now, once you get responses will be listed here. Okay. You can then link your responses to sheets. So meaning if you're someone that really likes to have everything organized in an Excel sheet, once you link it to Sheets, it'll pull everything over to you in an Excel sheet with Google Sheets document, sorry. And it'll even timestamp it for you. So you'll be able to then see, when Sally submitted her form, when Bob submitted his form. Okay. Make sure that under responses, this is open. This is toggled on. If it's toggled off, the form will not work. People will not be able to submit responses. Okay. Under settings. Now, these are just normal form settings, right? Do you want to make this a quiz, right? I don't know that you would want to, but you could. Your responses, as I showed you earlier, you could then do responder input, meaning that they'll manually enter their email if it's verified or do not collect. You can send a copy of their response to them if you want to. You can turn that on. You can allow your clients to edit their responses after it's being submitted. Limit to 1 response. Presentation, so how you want the form and the responses to be presented. Do you want to show a progress bar as they're going through the questions? Do you want to shuffle the question order? I personally didn't like the shuffling question order because I strategically have it in a way that's like from start to finish. I don't want them to see this in the middle of the form. I want them to see it at the end, right? I don't want them to see the referral in the middle of the form. I wanted to see it at the end. So that was just my personal preferences. Confirmation message. So you can edit this. It's going to automatically default to your response has been recorded. You can edit this and say, Thank you. We will contact you in 48 to 72 hours, whatever your turnaround time is. So that way, once they submit this form, this is the message that they're going to receive. Okay. You can then show a link to submit another response. So once they submit your form, the responses to the form, they'll be able to have a link to go back to the form and submit another response. Okay. And then these are just defaults in terms of the form. The form has some certain defaults that are already set in place. So again, email question, and then you can make questions required by default. So as I said, every time you add a question, it's going to automatically make it required by default, unless you want to manually do that yourself. Okay. So that's pretty much it in terms of creating a form. It's very straightforward, very easy to do. I will share both of my links in the chat, and I'll also share in the description of the training. So that way you can have it as a guide, but definitely just make it your own. So that way, you know, you can really personalize it and yeah, just make it your own.